I think buyers are over it. I think they're pulling out of the housing market, and honestly, this was bound to happen. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again for some more real estate content. In this week's video, I want to talk a little bit about why buyers might be pulling out of the housing market. Before we get started, I did want to talk about the poll that I put up on my Instagram. I wanted to look through your guys' responses so far. It's only been up for 3 hours, so I will put updated information up on the screen once the 24 hours is up, but I did want to see where we were at right now. So I asked you guys where you stand in terms of home ownership this year. I really wanted to get an idea of how many people tried to buy and pulled out of the market because it was really intense, how many people are thinking about selling but aren't sure if it's the right time, things like that. So I wanted to see what you guys had to say. So far, 8 people have said that they were looking to buy but pulled out due to high prices. 1 person has said that they want to sell but they're not sure if it's the right time. 11 people have said that they want to buy sometime soon but they're not in a rush. And 16 people have said that they're not ready to buy yet, they're just watching and learning. Thank you so much to everyone that participates in my Instagram polls. I really appreciate it and it helps me learn more about you guys, which I love. And to everybody that said that they're just watching and learning right now, that's so amazing. Even if you're not ready to participate in the real estate market, it's going to be so beneficial to you in the future to have all of this information in your back pocket. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that I've talked a lot about the 2021 real estate market. For the most part, it's been really intense this year. It's been primarily a seller's market, so sellers have been able to put their house up for sale, and in most cases, if their house is priced correctly, they'll get tons of offers and end up selling their home for over list price. It's been really challenging for buyers because there's so many more buyers than there are homes available for sale. So buyers have been finding that they're competing with a lot of other people in order to get their offers accepted. Buyers have been having to face a lot of rejection, oftentimes more than once or twice, even when they're offering over list price. But could it be that things are finally starting to change? A new article by Inman was released yesterday titled "Demand for Mortgages Sagged in April, Even as Rates Remain Near Historic Lows." This means that lenders are experiencing less business. Fewer people are coming through their doors to apply for home loans. We saw a huge boom in home loan origination in March, but it dropped pretty significantly from March to April. This is according to a new report from data and analytics firm called Black Knight. I'll put the bar graph up on the screen as well, and if we look over at these statistics, we can see a 6% decrease in purchase loans from March to April. This doesn't sound like a lot, but it is significant. Now, what I'm looking at here is the dark blue bar that's showing us the 6% decrease from March to April in 2021. The light blue bar here is the year-over-year increase. So what that means is there were 114% more purchase loans in April of this year than there were in April of 2020. However, this honestly doesn't really mean much because, as you all know, in April of last year we were experiencing the start of the coronavirus pandemic. People were not really purchasing homes at that time. The real estate market took a huge hit. So even though we see that there has been a significant increase in purchase loans from April of last year to April of this year, drawing a comparison between the two doesn't really make too much sense. I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out. That's not really what we're going to be talking about today. We're just going to be talking about the decrease from March to April because that's more relevant to understand the real estate market right now. But I wanted to make sure I explained that aspect of the graph as well. So we've seen a decrease in purchase loans. What does this mean? So there are a lot of reasons that buyers may have started to pull out of the real estate market, but I really think that a large part of it is because they're just tired. People might be feeling discouraged after losing in multiple bidding wars, even after making really strong offers. So they might be taking a break from making offers and house hunting for the time being. In my last video, I did advocate for taking a break if you've been making lots of offers and not really getting anywhere. I know that it can be really draining and stressful, so it's probably best in that situation to take a step back. And I think that's what a lot of buyers are starting to do. And that's probably why we're seeing a decrease in purchase loans. Speaking from personal experience, it looks like demand is still really booming in the Portland metro area, and I'm sure in a lot of other areas across the country as well. So I'm not really saying that we're at the point that supply and demand have evened out. We're far from that, but this article shows that maybe we're taking a step closer to an equilibrium. Though demand is still very high in areas like Portland, buyer sentiment is definitely decreasing. We're seeing that buyers are getting less optimistic about participating in the real estate market. So is this a good time to buy or not? There hasn't been a really major change yet. I still think that right now we're in a seller's market, but the article made a very interesting point, and I think this is probably the most important excerpt I can take from it, so I'm going to read it to you right now. They say, as demand falls, falls, lenders are reacting by extending credit to borrowers with lower credit scores and putting more customers into FHA, VA, and USDA loans. As volume has tightened, we've seen average credit scores decline across all products and purposes, and conventional loans lose share to government-backed mortgages. This is huge. This means that as lenders are experiencing decreasing business, they're more willing to lend to borrowers that have lower credit scores than they were before. This is really great news for people that want to finance through an FHA, a VA, or a USDA loan. So again, if you want to finance through one of these loan options and you have a bit of a lower credit score, this is really good news for you because this means that lenders will be more inclined to let you borrow that money to purchase a home. As other buyers start to pull out, you will also be experiencing less competition, so that gives you more room to negotiate terms with the seller. Right now, due to high demand, sellers are favoring offers that are either financed through cash or through a conventional loan. I talked about the reason why in my previous video. But if buyers fall back, competition decreases, and lenders extend loans to people with lower credit scores, you will be able to make an offer with an FHA, VA, or USDA loan and have a higher chance of getting your offer accepted. All of this is to say that even though we're still in a seller's market right now, this article shows that we might be moving in a direction that will favor buyers a little bit more. My prediction is that we might be seeing the market shift to favor buyers a little bit more in midsummer and early fall. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be a buyer's market. I don't think it's going to be a huge shift, but I think it will be a little bit easier for buyers to compete in the market during that time. Aside from the decrease we've already seen in home loan originations, we typically do see more inventory come on the market in the summer. We may also be seeing more inventory come on the market during that time due to foreclosures. I've talked about this in previous videos, but essentially what's happening is a lot of people have put their monthly mortgage payments on hold through something called the forbearance period. This is an agreement that they've made with their lender to put those payments on hold due to hardship or unemployment that has resulted from the coronavirus pandemic. That forbearance period will likely end in early fall, so when that ends, people are going to have to make those accrued payments back to their lender. Again, forbearance doesn't completely forgive your payments. It doesn't mean that they're gone. It just means that they're pushed to a later date. So if people aren't able to make those payments, they will go into foreclosure. So with the combination of decreasing home loan originations as well as increased inventory in midsummer to early fall, we might be seeing the market shift to favor buyers just a little bit more. Now, I also wanted to make a final note concerning the interest rates. In the headline, we saw that interest rates are still at historic lows, which is true. I did want to take another quote from the article though, that says that economists expect rates on 30-year fixed mortgages to hit 3.4% by the end of the year. Right now, we're around 3.2, 3.3% if I'm not mistaken. They're also saying that the interest rate might rise to an average of 3.6% in 2022, which is up 3.1% total from last year. Now, if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to buy right this second because the interest rate is going to slowly creep up, that's not necessarily the case. Even though the interest rate will rise with time, it's not going to rise too much according to economists' predictions. And as mortgage rates rise, we might be seeing a bit more buyers pull out of the market, which means that there will be less demand, leading to perhaps decreased prices. So at the end, your monthly payment will balance out. So I wouldn't be worried about the interest rate rising too much throughout this year and even into next year, but as there are updates, I will continue to let you guys know. So to wrap up, I really want to say that determining whether or not now is a good time to buy for you or not is a very personal decision. My predictions aren't set in stone, even though I do think it's starting to get a little bit easier for buyers and it will continue to get easier as the year goes on. The situation might be different depending on where you live and what your personal situation looks like. I highly recommend that you talk to a realtor in your local area as well as a lender, because these people will be able to look at your situation specifically and give you advice and suggestions based on your finances, your credit score, all those different factors. So it's very important to talk to local experts. A good realtor should never push you. If they see that you're not ready, they will tell you that. Let me know in the comments what you think about the real estate market. Do you think it's going to get easier for buyers moving forward, or do you think that we're going to stay in a really intense seller's market for the rest of the year? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. All right, you guys, that's going to be it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out so much. And make sure to hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff on there, especially on Instagram. So if you want to follow my journey as a realtor in Oregon, make sure to follow me on there. And finally, if you're looking to purchase a home in Oregon, I would be more than happy to help you navigate the market as an Oregon licensed real estate agent. All right, you guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.